Here's another update on the speed bolt that we're building. And I have the front axle mounted now, and I used on the bottom side deadbolt lower links because they work great for that. But I ended up using some links from the SpeedCX24, and in order to do that I had to take a pen and cut a little bit of that off to make a bushing to go in to the back side of this one, because the hole, these use, the SpeedCX24s use bigger ball joints, so I had to put a spacer in there to take up the slack. And this one I didn't have two of the ones like on the bottom there. And what I'm talking about when I say bottom, I didn't have two of this right here, this link, because they were used on my SpeedCX24 that has SCX24 axles. So I had to take another one and splice two pieces together and make it at the right length. It's a little ugly, but it's fine. It works right, so that's all I care about. But in order to make that plastic weld itself together, I basically put both ends over the same flame and simultaneously catch them both on fire. Then you stick them together, and you have to hold them with pliers because it's just too hot. And once they're both burning, it's liquid plastic, and you touch them together, blow out the little flame that is present, and let it cool. And it holds pretty decent, so I'm happy with how that turned out. I'll have to figure out a front suspension for this, and I think I might run into some clearance issues with the ESC tray and the servo, so I'm sure I'm going to have to do some cutting on that, but it's no problem. I'm pretty used to cutting these by now. I decided to stay up a little later and get the suspension sorted out, and I didn't know how I was going to spring this, whether I was going to use a plastic leaf spring like in the back, or what I was going to do. And what I ended up doing was taking a stock spring, and this had that fake oil thing cut off of it, and I took the bottom little pivot ball off of it, and I'll show you what I did here. Those screws, the silver one there that you see, that's from the 10 scale SSD wheel, and with no pivot ball, that pops right on. So the screw head that holds my link on is holding my shock, and they don't seem to pop off. And I've done the same thing on the other side with a different shock. It's got a little bit stiffer spring, but I wanted that because these things have body roll to the right when they accelerate, so front end on the right side is a little stiffer than the left, but I think that's okay. I don't think it matters much because it'll try to lift the left side anyway. One unfortunate thing that I'll have to deal with later is the axle that I got on eBay did not come with the nylon lock nuts, so I can place the wheel on it, but I can't screw it down. So that's unfortunate, because I wish I could just put the wheels on and be done with it, but I can't because they won't stay on it. But it sits nice, it has a good stance, and we're getting down to the point now where all I really need to do is hook up the drive shafts and the motor. So this thing could be running tomorrow easily if I had parts. So I don't know how fast it's going to go, but I have a wheel speed checker that will throw it on and find out. The goal is between 15 and 20 miles per hour. If I can get more out of that, that's even better. But that's the goal for this particular build. The drive shafts aren't sitting in it right now because there's no motor or transmission. And the just a quick note on the back, this is all SCX24. I got my Dremel tool out and just rounded out the inside of the end so it would bolt on to the Enduro input shaft on the diff. The front one, this is a Enduro 24 one that came with the truck, and I don't know if that'll handle it or not. Enduro 24 drive shafts are notoriously fragile, and I'll probably blow this up right away. If I do, it's fine. I'll just replace it with a SCX24 drive shaft because I know how to do that now, and it shouldn't be a problem. But I'm really happy with how this can is starting to turn out. There's no reason that this shouldn't work. I may steal some of the lug nuts off of my Tetra 24 because I think they use the same size lug nut. So I'm not without options, and I'll get it bolted together. But literally all that's left is motor, transmission, and drive shafts. Oh, and I've got to mount the servo too. I may have to relocate the ESC a little bit, move that back, and cut the tray a bit, but it's just moving things around. It shouldn't be that difficult. That's all for tonight. We'll talk to you later.